the Rocky Mountains in Montana. According to maps, I'm at about 6,550 feet. And I'm gonna cut back in here up a little gully or ravine I've scouted previously and set up a camp for the night. It's supposed to get down to between 5 and 0 at this elevation tonight. And I have my 0-degree bag and the clothes I'm wearing. No shelter besides the plastic and some basic bush gear. So let's have a fun time. Plenty of firewood, that's for sure. I chose this area because at the bottom of the draw I'm camping in, there's all these nice birches. There should be a maple throughout in here occasionally. And then we have a lot of fallen spruce and pine in the forest up the hill. And I'm heading to a site we have named Clam Rock, and you'll see why. So now it's time to start heading uphill. We're off this ATV trail. Even looks like the sun might try to come out above us. But as I was saying, firewood, no problem. You know, when you're out of shape, this is a bit of work. Pro tip, don't lose your fucking sleeping bag. But I'm almost to what will be camp now. I think I can see it. And I'm gonna get some layers off, hydrate a bit, and then see what we can't build. Whew. Watching my step. Carefully. Alright, so we made it out here to Clam Rock. Now I gotta build a camp. What I'm gonna do here is I have these two trees which are 6-7 feet apart right here next to me. And I'm gonna build my shelter right here. I'm gonna lay between those two trees as much as I can. Build the structure of my shelter between those two trees. And that gives me plenty of open space right here to have a fire pit, a fire reflector, reflecting heat back on me. And then I'll do some wind management as I need to. So really, I gotta take all of this stuff down. I can't have a shelter and a fire near that. There's all this ground cover here. I'm just gonna kick it all back with my boots where my fire pit's gonna be. There's plenty of rock around for me to build a nice fire pit out of. This is all dry and dead anyway, so not gonna be too much work. Check back with you guys momentarily. So what's your favorite bushcraft dinner? Hiking, camping dinner, or backpacking dinner, or camping dinner, whatever the hell you want to call it dinner. There's a branch in front of me, isn't there? Today I brought shrimp, sausage, veggies, rice, and some seasoning for a jambalaya. And I also remembered to bring Tums because jambalaya. All I'm doing right now is just, there's all this ground cover, or as our friends to the north call it, duff. And my fire pit's gonna be right here. I know that already. So if I knock that out of the way, a little housekeeping, and then I'm gonna start a little smolder fire because at some point I want to eat lunch. Maybe want a cup of coffee to warm up if it gets cold. Oh, sweet. I think we're making some progress here. So as for a fire pit, we need rocks. See if I can find some rocks with one hand. I want this one. I'm not that strong. You know, it's kind of weird. You're up here in the Rockies and you're looking for rocks. You can find them. And they're under my feet because I'm pretty much a couple inches above bedrock. But small shit? Like maybe this one will come free, you think? Nope. You could even say it's solid as a rock. But I need to come up with a couple. Can't have a fire pit without a fire pit. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do next before I get my fire pit going is these two trees I'm standing right in between of here in the shot. That's what I'm gonna use as the two supports for the crossbar for my shelter. I'm making a kind of lean-to style shelter, a quick, easy one. So I'm gonna go out and find a nice piece of something dead, hopefully laying down already, not rotted. If I gotta cut something down, I will, but I'm gonna start doing that so I have a break because there is a winter storm moving in. It's not supposed to hit till tomorrow, but we're in the mountains of Montana, so it could hit early. So I'm gonna be prepared for tonight. So let's go find a crossbar. Now I'm not looking for anything substantially thick. It doesn't have to be massive and heavy. As a matter of fact, right here, somewhere above my shoulder, right there, there's this leaner, and it looks about strong enough for what I'm planning to do. I'm gonna look around a little more, see if I can find something thicker, but I'll update you. Okay, I found one. It's already laying on the ground. It's already mostly limbed, and I don't have to use my saw until I get back to camp, so I shove that in my pocket and drag this buddy back up the hill. So hopefully this buddy be's a good guy and drags easy. Whew. I don't think the steepness of this hill comes across on camera. Okay, I'm gonna cut it there. Now this is a Fiskars, this folding saw. It's they call it the Fiskars Power Tooth. Now this is a little less than I'd normally bring on a trip like this. However, with the amount of wood that is laying on the ground out here, who cares? So I have my stick. I'm gonna go right across here. I think I'm gonna put it up at about chin height on me because I am gonna build a raised sleeping platform. I didn't bring a sleeping pad, so I'm gonna build some sort of raised sleeping platform and grab some pine boughs and make myself a little bit of an insulator. So I want it high enough I can sit on my sleeping bench. So I think what I'm gonna do is find my rope. So like I said, I don't know proper knots. I'm sure it would be helpful if I did, but as long as it doesn't fall on me, the knot was good enough. So what I'm gonna do, figure I need about that length for this big fat tree. This Ozark Trail Walmart kind of brand camping gear, some of it sucks, some of it's actually worth it. I found that the Ozark Trail machete actually works really well. The hatchet's not heavy enough, it's sharp, but it's not heavy enough. This knife, same thing, it's sharp, but it's not heavy enough. But it was all part of like a little promo kit, so why not? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out my sleeping platform and then everything else, because I want to bring that back wall tight to my sleeping platform, and then that way from there I can get my fire pit all tucked in here and we're gonna be freaking golden. So I'm making the supports for my bench slash bed. So basically one riser on each end, maybe one in the middle if I need it, and then some longer poles laying, you know, long ways. That's my platform to sleep on and sit on, and then later in the day I'll go get some pine boughs and weave myself a little bed. But this is definitely bigger than I like to cut with a saw like this, but I couldn't find anything that was the size I needed. All right, I'm gonna take a bit of a break so I don't sweat too much from sawing and hauling rocks, but it's starting to snow a bit. I'd like to have a little bit of fire just in case my hands get cold, so I'm going to go find the nearest birch bark and come back and get a little fire going that I can just keep kind of smoldering throughout the construction day. All right, so I went out and collected tinder, some old man's beard type stuff off of trees, some really dry pine cones, some bark, have a little bit of dry stuff here. I'm gonna make a little fire. Always best to wear gloves. Sometimes it's hard with certain fire steel, but we'll try. So I've learned that best for me is just rapid. Get it down in there. Sometimes it doesn't always go perfect. We have fire. Well, now that I've got a little fire going, I think the next thing I want to do, besides cut some more boards for my bench and work on that throughout the day, I want to start getting my actual shelter up. It's smart to do. But I have this piece of visqueen is off a roll 8 feet wide, and I think I cut it 12 feet long. So what I'm gonna do is tie it off in each front corner. One to this tree here my camera's on right now, and then one over here to, you know, whatever's dead and fallen over here. I have 90 more feet of rope on me, so I'm good there. That way it'll come out and provide me some overhang a couple feet out. And then I have a emergency blanket type Reflectix I'm gonna hang on the inside to reflect some heat down on me. So what I gotta do is get this over my support there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to pin it down with like tree branches and shit for now until I tie it off at the front, and then I'll stake it or something like that. See, and once I'm tied off, it'll provide me with some pretty good moisture protection. So for the tie-off method, I need some rope. And I'm gonna start by putting my ugly mug up in your guys' grill for a second. Do an easy, secure tie-off that's easy to remove at the end of the day tomorrow. Then what I'm gonna do, and I'll look at how far it'll come out. Give myself a cut about there. And none of this cloth is grommeted, so I'm gonna have to make buttons. Now, if you don't know how to make buttons, dirt, pine needles, or my favorite, find a small round pine cone. What you're gonna do is keep your rope. You're gonna take your pine cone and you're gonna wad it up in the corner of your plastic, making a little pouch of plastic wrapped all the way around your pine cone. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this rope tight against it and give that a jam here. And just like that, a pine cone, a little bit of paracord, you have a way to hold up the corner of your plastic without tearing it. So we're gonna do the same thing. Grab another little pine cone, perfect guy like that. Go over here, do another tie off. Sitting here, I can do something about this height here in the middle even if I want to. Do one more tie off over here, which I probably will. I only have a little hole back here to block off. My bench is gonna move all the way back in here as much as I can. So I think right now I'm gonna get some more firewood on this guy here, and I'll update you guys in a bit with more on the shelter. All right, I'm back. It's been a couple hours since we last spoke. The wind came up for a while and I got focused on getting myself the beep out of that wind. I didn't mean to click the off button, but I'm gonna take another big rock back to camp and give you guys a camp update. We have made progress. I still have work to do, but as any good outdoors person should do, I got a lot of firewood. I lugged some hardwood up this steep ass hill a couple times, and some other wood. Plus, like right now, I've been carrying rocks to build up my fire pit. Wood is aplenty, so I don't mind getting a little extra wood by headlamp when the sun goes down. But yeah, let me set down this rock and I'll give y'all an update on the old Clam Rock Lodge, as it's being called. All right, time for the new updated entrance. So I built up a log wall, staked a couple stakes in the ground, you can see it from the inside, and built a log wall, and then reinforced it with pine boughs to keep the wind from hitting the shelter. You guys saw the plastic already. The fire pit has been growing. Been drying out a log. I have my bench completed with that ratchet strap I brought just to keeping the logs together. Now I still have to go get a bunch of handfuls of that, because without doing that, my sleeping bag's useless and that fire's useless. So I've still got to do that. But I did get my Reflectix hung. My bed is safe. It's a good bench height. I'm comfortable on it. I'm also trying to keep my water from freezing. I did add one more tie off here in the middle to make a more natural peak for smoke to exit from. And the log wall, like I said, it got windy kind of quick and it was coming right up that draw. So with that there, it keeps it off the fire and it keeps it off me. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put a little bit of something on this, because we're lacking in the fire department. And I have less than an hour till it's dark as of right now. So I'm gonna film as much as I can. There's a bunch of hardwood that's come up the hill throughout there, and softwood is aplenty. All I have to do is grab a pile before bedtime. So I interrupted my self-eating, my soup, as it's getting dark here. And I got the fire cranked up a bit. It's cozy. But warm chicken noodle soup next to a campfire out here. There's only a couple meals on the planet that might beat that. So it's about 7 p.m. now. Pretty settled in for the night. I've brought down the wings of the plastic to just help keep heat in. Put the Reflectix all the way up here, and I have some I'll be able to lay onto on top of my branches here. It's dinner time. It's snowing. I'm warm. It's jambalaya time. Now, I'm going to make a mess here and catch my skillet on fire. I was deciding whether I wanted the rice with it. I have rice and everything I want to make it, and I just don't want the rice, so I'm gonna make the shrimp and the veggies. Just go to town on that. All right, let's make some dinner. Now I'm gonna do my best job to film and cook. Like I said, I'm skipping the rice. I like rice, it's not that much. So I like that spot. It's getting some good heat under it, but it's also got a cool zone so I won't burn everything. What I got here in this little tub is vegan butter. You know what's amazing? Is I just had the lid to this butter here. Already gone. Alright, we're gonna get some seasoning going in here. I'm gonna have a grape crush single to go. And find something to stir that with. Now the question is, and don't cheat, can I pour this in that plate without it ending up everywhere there with one hand? Well, it's about 11 p.m. It's about 10 or 11 degrees out right now. The clouds have cleared. It's starry and clear. It's probably going to drop another 10 degrees because of that. But I have a bunch of hardwood lined up around me and under my bed, and then softwood out there on the perimeter. And I just stoked the fire one last time here before I hop into my bag. But, you know, all seems to be working out pretty well. I'm pretty warm. I let the fire kind of go out for a little while because I got too warm sitting here, but now I'm going to remove a layer or two and hop in this bag and see how the night goes. So if anything crazy happens or I decide to turn the camera on in the middle of the night, I'll see you then. Or otherwise, I'll see you in the morning. Bye. Well, it's 6:30 in the morning, and that's what it looks like outside. I'm in my sleeping bag. The fire's all the way out. I got up once and stoked it real well. I haven't really been that cold though. A little bit drafty every once in a while if I move weird, but I'm gonna wait for there to be any sort of sign of sunlight, which should be, I think, within the hour. I'm gonna get up and make some fire. Good morning. 7:15. I just got that going again. It's pretty cold out. There's some wind, but it's staying off me for the most part. This fire takes it away. Now I'm gonna wait for the sun to come up. Keep this fire happy for a couple hours because it is cold, as I'm sure you can tell by my shivering. Time for another morning update. I'm warming up still. It's daylight now. But it is not pleasant out. It's a lot colder and windier than it was yesterday. I mentioned yesterday in the video There is a winter weather advisory today for like the whole Rocky Mountain front, and that's including where I'm sitting right now. So I guess it's time to pack up and get the hell out of here. I still have fire going, and that's good. It can keep me going until I leave, or keep me warm till I leave. The plastic and the reflective cloth all coming down and all of that, I might leave it here kind of stuffed away, out of the way, because I plan on coming back here next week and a couple other times to help build this place up and make it more windproof, because then I won't have any issues with good amount of fire. But on that note, I am gonna start packing up, and this awning is the last thing that's coming down with the fire, because it's keeping me warm. But I'm gonna pack my entire backpack and then get my sleeping bag all happy, and I have like a pretty decent little, it's not uphill or anything, but I have a decent little walk out, which is gonna be all in the wind, I think. But then at the end of that, it'll be my beautiful wife, and she'll be there to take me home to enjoy a day off. So I'll check back with you guys in a while. All right, we are out for the day. I want to thank you all for joining me on my first video trip. I apologize for the muffled talking. It is cold. I've got to walk out and catch my ride. I think the most entertaining part of the trip, I don't think I got any footage of. I tried in the middle of the night, but I was surrounded for a while by coyotes. And they just kept getting closer and closer. I wasn't worried, but I woke up and stoked up the fire and noticed them. Laid there listening to them for quite a while, and then they moved on. Some of this woodland stuff is kind of treacherous, especially with all this weight on. But that's okay, because we're not out here because we have to be, right? So if you at all enjoyed the content, if you at all enjoyed what I got going on, or my stupid jokes, or any of that, please comment below. Please subscribe. It makes a lot of difference to, you know, a new guy like me. And thank you. And if you have any suggestions for trips, or, you know, parameters for trips or anything, go ahead and suggest them down below. I'd love to hear what you guys want to see me put myself through. I've made it back to the trail. I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. That's tomorrow from when I'm filming. This video is not going to be up till after Thanksgiving, but I hope it was good. And in theory, here in about 10 more minutes of walking, I'm going to find my wife in a nice warm truck to drive me off this mountain and take me home. Later in the spring, I have a couple really fun video ideas planned. They're not very suitable to this type of weather. I'm gonna try to come up with a pair of snowshoes real quickly so I can keep coming back in here. And I'm gonna build this place up for the winter and then tear it down on one last overnighter in probably April. But thankfully, there's all this beautiful public land out here, not that far from home. I don't know if I ever introduced myself. I'm Kyle. I live here in Montana. The actual town I live in is called Butte, not Butt. It's a town where Evel Knievel and Copper are from. I have a badass wife. You'll get to know her. I have 3 cats. I'm excited to go home and see them. I'm sure they missed me last night. And 2 years ago, my wife and I moved to Montana here from Alaska. The excitement is just now I'm making it to the main road. Yeah, so I walk up the road a little ways, and then there's going to be a parking lot, and that's where my lovely wife is going to scoop me from in our truck named Forest. I'll check back with you guys at the end of the trip. Well, I made it to the end of my walk. We were way back in those hills back there behind me. Hey, thanks for watching my video. My original outro was crap, so here I am next to my Christmas tree filming another one. Thanks for watching again. Please subscribe and like. It's a couple days before this video is uploading. That day I am leaving to the same area to a new shelter I started building last week. And I do have some footage from that, however the audio was completely wrecked on most of that footage. Leading to this, it's Christmas time here at Kyle Goes Outdoors, and the channel gets a few upgrades, starting with right here. I have a sled, take some load off my back, more efficient work. Now previously, I've been working with this little Ozark Trail knife. It works good, I'm still gonna take it as a backup, but we have made an upgrade to a full-size proper Bowie knife, and it's gonna be fun to see how it works out. And then early Christmas gift from my friend Ian. Thank you, Ian. We've got a new S-Twing hatchet to play with out in the woods. See how it splits up some wood. And the final thing you're sitting on right now, we invested in a smartphone gimbal because, as you just got done watching, there's some shaky footage out there when you're in the woods by yourself filming. So this should take care of that and hopefully make this more watchable. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.